voice for the democratic and popular will of the people. The indomitable, ever-winning Vanguard Syndication Party. We bring you greetings from the most powerful man. The finest son of a passing man. One of the finest states of the person of Africa. From a chairman, from a militant, from a UN teacher, from a agri law, from a graduate chairman, audacious flow mother.
Lole, the funniest girl, come a chairman, audacious mother, Lole. Audacious mother, yo.
He's a Mazidon, he's a Shakali, So that I can follow the stream decision party Congress. You will note that in recent days, in past time and moment, the Vanguard Syndication Party announced and gave a clear mandate to the 55th legislature to appear before the joint session of the Politburo and Senior Committee of the Technical Leadership of the Vanguard Syndication Party to account for the leadership inadequacy, to account for a man-move distribution of property, melange, and sicknesses on our people, to account for the half-baked leadership and the people entrusted them from 2023 up to present. So they couldn't take any single representative, they couldn't take any single man or women, in fact, to summon to the core the ideal man of the Syndication Party. So today we have here the 55th speaker who have mustered the courage and the only reason and he has mustered the courage to appear before the joint session of the Politburo and Senior Committee because we have tested the baptism of fire of the Vanguard Syndication Party. Or you think any member of the Federal Village will come here? No. They could not. If they do so, they'll put them consumed. So it took days, it took weeks. In alignment to the core of the Syndication Party. So it only took a speaker. Because he's the president of the Syndication Party.
The queen, you're working for the one regime, the queen.
So today, he has come, not the speaker of the Federal Legislature, he has come the veteran, in adherence of the mandate of the 34th chair, from the chairman of Jesus Mobile. So today, he's going to be taking clear directives. Viva! Most powerful man in the campus on the bus of Liberia and Pastentia, the Republic of Liberia. He's going to carry that clear mandate to the Federal Legislature and make sure that this mandate are initiated and implemented to the way aspiration of our suffering master of the Liberian Republic. So no much ado, comrades, I will call on the Shepherd General, the man who is responsible to introduce the most powerful man in the campus in the bus of Liberia. Comme Aguilar, comme G-Scraps, comme Amanua Sir of Massé, the man who is responsible to have a protocol of the people suffering. There's a man from the inception of being a Secretary General of the Technical Leadership and chronicle now as the people suffering of Mr. Baka. He has greatly documented all the suffering ranging from the social injustices of rape and sodomy against our boys and girls and men and women. He has rated the social injustices of our people for being jobless. The country requiring the man of qualified jobless populace, of qualified people. The regime will say to you that it will provide 70,000 jobs. It's a pattern now, but it's a sophistry. Today, the Vanguard Syndication Party will be negating the Federal people to carry the mandate of the legislature to adhere to the mandate of the people. So no matter do commerce, I will reduce my intellectual heart. I will participate in veto in clean air and the government chair. Introduce commerce. The key sparks in the Amadua says, take the general commerce, Ayola, commerce, leader and teacher, commerce, Malitan and cadre, Dave Howard Jr. It's the father of Latin praise, yo yo. Yo yo. Commerce in France. Militants and cadres of the Revolutionary Vanguard Student Education Party. South. We bring you warm revolutionary greetings, salutations, and felicitations.
Down, Joseph Vargas, down.
From the most powerful man on the campuses of the University of Liberia.
Down.
The man who commandeered more than 2,000 university students against the miasma and the paralysis that have engulfed the state. The students of losing the neighbor. Today, like it was done in Asian room, in which the tribunes brought forth the grievances of the plebeians before the Roman Senate. Today, the chairman of the People's Party, the chairman of the People's Movement, will appear here at this intellectual Gaza boom, at this intellectual Hagia Sophia, which means Holy Question, to present the revolutionary plights, to present the revolutionary grievances of the students of this university who are concomitant citizens of the Republic of Liberia. Commerce, today will be a revolutionary demonstration. Today will be a day of revolutionary victory in Marxist passage.
Reactionary Tunisia!
Abbas!
Reactionary Tunisia!
Abbas!
CPFE!
Abbas!
CPFE!
Under the leadership under the leadership of the Telephone Police Bureau
when the sun shines, shine on
and the Telephone Committee. Under the leadership of the Telephone Police Bureau and the Telephone Senior Committee, history will be recorded that the Speaker of the People's Parliament was summoned and was mandated by Comrade Kajak, Chairman of Jesus Mobile, to appear before the party's leadership to provide his arguments and his analysis on his stewardship of the national legislature. On that basis, so much I do, today we do not bore you, we don't want to bore you with too many intellectual arguments, but we want to commandeer the militants to protect the perimeters of the barricades, and the chairman proceeds to the Gadabu to read the petition statement. On that basis, we welcome the most powerful man on the campuses of the University of Liberia, the Arrowhead, the Sheikh Khalif, and the Money Mutapa, the Telephone for the Bureau, the Telephone Senior Committee, and the Telephone General Congress, the Commission of Africa's biggest department of revolutionary consciousness and political enlightenment. From a leader, from a teacher, from a country chairman, to Jesus Pro Mova. Mana! 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 Before I officially read the petition on behalf of 22,000 students of the University of Liberia to the Vanguard Student Education Party, South. We want to inform the Liberian people, the students, and the media that SUP struggle has always been to provide a genuine and clear practical outcome. So on that basis, as an institution that is not separate, we have always seek a regular procedure in ensuring that we can address the basic issue of the students
on the campus of the University of Liberia. And part of that, and as a veteran of the Vanguard Education Party, the Politburo and the Central Committee was able to mandate the veteran to come here so that they received a clear position of the students through the Vanguard Education Party to ensure that basic needs of more than 22,000 students can be addressed. And so I'll call on the veteran to come as we read the petition.
Manda! 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 Manda!
Reaction intéressé! Reaction intéressé! Excellency Joseph Yuma Boaka Senior, President of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Jeremiah Kpoun, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Rachel Kuhn, Speaker of the 55th National Legislature of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Yombli Kanga Lawrence, President Pro Tempore of the Liberian Senate, the Revolutionary Vanguard Education Party, petition the government of Liberia and the U.S. administration on the urgent and holistic modernization, restructuring, and transformation of the University of Liberia. We, the 22,000 students and concomitant Liberian citizens of civil consciousness acting under the banner of the Revolutionary Vanguard Education Party, the only genuine and popular hope of the student masses and intellectual mouthpiece of the Liberian people, respectfully submit this petition accounts to the government of Liberia and the administration of the University of Liberia regarding the declining infrastructural collapse and the developmental downturn affecting premier university of the Republic of Liberia. We, the students of the University of Liberia, acting through the Revolutionary Vanguard Education Party, hereby present these following counts. 1. That the government of Liberia and the administration of UR procure, deploy, and provide operational, large, functional, and spacious buses to connect all campuses for the smooth, convenient, accessible, and affordable movement of all 22,000 students of the University of Liberia. 2. That all damaged and dysfunctional bathrooms across all campuses be renovated, expanded, and supplied with consistent running water and maintained with higher standard of good hygiene and zero additional cost to the students and faculty and staff. 3. That the government of Liberia begin a comprehensive renovation and modernization initiative across all campuses, including rehabilitating buildings, classrooms, halls, lighting systems, setting capacity, and all overall beneficiary of the University of Liberia.
No session,
Four, that high-speed internet connectivity and campus-wide Wi-Fi infrastructure be procured, assembled, and installed across all campuses of the University of Liberia, facilitated, as well as facilitated research, digital learning, academic productivity, and technological innovation among students. Count 5. That at least one fully electrified 24-hour reading and research center be established respectively on each of the 4 campuses of the University of Liberia. Count 6. That solar power charging and steady station be installed across all campuses in order to mitigate the challenges posed by unreliable electricity to improve academic productivity among students. Count 7. That the government of Liberia and the administration of the University of Liberia establish a student innovation, technology, and career development center responsible for digital skill training, entrepreneurship, development, internship, coordination, scholarship opportunity, undergraduate and graduate career counseling, and employment preparation. Count 8. That security infrastructure at the final campus and other campuses be strengthened to prevent unlawful intrusion and harassment through the deployment of professionally trained security personnel, increase and improve lighting system, and effective emergency response mechanism to ensure the safety of all students. Count 9. That students of the University of Liberia be institutionally represented and broadly consulted in all major policy decisions affecting tuition, academic regulation, student welfare, and institutional restructuring, as these are consistent with democratic obligation in participatory democracy. Contend that the government of Liberia and the administration of the University of Liberia institutionalized a sufficient and mass availability of international academic partnership, student exchange programs, and research collaboration for the purpose of exposing all students of the University of Liberia to global academic opportunity and empower the international readiness and competitiveness of the university. Count 11, that the government of Liberia and the administration of the University of Liberia installed multimedia teaching equipment and digital classroom infrastructure, in addition to the creation of a modern library system where access to international journals and academic database. Count 12, that the government of Liberia and the administration of the University of Liberia institutionalized internship, a graduate employment pathway for students and graduates of the University of Liberia. We emphasize that these demands are not excessive or unachievable, as the Vanguard Student Education Party delivered this revolutionary petition accounts, hereby grant the government and demand the government to ensure that these are addressed within 90 days. These 90 days must commence the visible, measurable, and viable implementation of our demands. Failure to demonstrate significant progress or the ability or willingness to start efficient and practical display within the stipulated time frame will compare the student massive and progressive forces of the Republic of Liberia to democratically and constitutionally intensify a nationwide mobilization organized by the Vanguard Student Education Party. A 22,000 university students populated to resist any attempt to delay or not adhere to the genuine and justifiable demand of the students of the University of Liberia. Attached also to this petition is a copy of the original April 14, 2026 petition entitled March for Job and Justice, which could not be delivered due to the violent and unprofessional disruption of our peaceful assembly by reckless state security elements. Long live the Vanguard Student Education Party! Long live social justice, economic freedom, and peace! Don't ensue on the 22nd day of May 18, 2026 by and through the mandate of the Telephone Politburo and Central Committee of the Vanguard Student Education Party. Signed from the Dave House Secretary General, approved from the Teacher Mobile Chairman of the Vanguard Student Education Party. From a veteran and Speaker of the 55th Legislature, this is the official cry of more than 22,000 students that we have been championing over the course of the years. It is being presented to you by the mandate of the Telephone Senior Committee and Politburo of the Vanguard Student Education Party. So, we want to see genuine effort in improving the students' conditions. We will not continuously be fighting. We'll always be fighting to ensure that the practical outcome of our fight can be realized. A part of it is to present to you a clear picture on behalf of the students so that you can ensure that as a representative of the government, that these plans can be implemented practically so that the students can see in the 90 days a genuine effort to address their basic needs.
Working in 90 days, yo. Working in 90 days, yo. Do more, 90 days, do more.
The chairman and people of the Student Unification Party, the right chairman Moba, who has been very instrumental in submitting this proposal to the government of Liberia. I just want to be very realistic in our distribution or our discussion. That 90 days is not realizable. As a chairman, you have to allow us to take this proposal to catalog on the day we're going to achieve these things one at a time. For 90 days, Mr. Chairman, in front of the audience here, I would not want to filibuster, tell you that 90 days is appropriate. You must understand that the government sometimes is constrained with resources, especially cash. And you need this or cash liquidity to implement all of these problems. So for 1 and 2 that I've seen on your request, in the supplemental budget, we are putting some money to bring new buses for the University of Liberia. We knew that this demand would be one of the forefront of requests. And also, as it relates to the bathroom, I've taken initiative to prepare the relevant bathroom. All of the other things, Mr. Chairman, I can submit to you on the 15th of next month, a actual and realistic timeline as it's going to be achieved. So I beg your indulgence, Mr. Chairman, a member of the Student Unification Party, I respect the Vanguard Party. The reason is that the Vanguard Party control the most metric 22,000 members of our country. It indicates that you're the most powerful party in Liberia. And under that request, I was forced to submit and appear before the chairman based on his call. So I'm here to receive this, but not to make further comment on the achievable time in 90 days. It is my duty to go and catalog, talk with the executive, talk with members of the legislature, and see how best we can adequate and outline the time we're going to implement these things. Now I'll return this carpet to you physically in person on the 15th of June, Mr. Chairman. So I beg your indulgence to please accept my request as it relates to government with achievement. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So thank you. As we conclude, we want to say that the 90 days, you don't necessarily have to achieve all of the counts in 90 days, but we see the effort of the government, especially in addressing the basic needs. It means you are showing willingness, and that is why we say 90 days. And so, as we conclude, Virgin, we will proceed to the party office as you conclude the Politburo.
Members of the press, you witnessed what happened. You were there. It's not something I'm telling you. I only want to overemphasize what we all saw. How the hoodlums, hooligans, from the MPP, Joava Taylor. From what I heard, one of them say is Joava Taylor who instructed them, along with Koji, to come and disrupt the church, fight us, and warn the people. I am the target. I'll tell you something. Few days ago, I was sitting on my push, and the security came to me to say, I won't call the name, that one EPS was outside wanting to see me urgently. It was about 5 something. I came from session very late, it was Tuesday. And I said, but let him come back tomorrow, because Wednesday there's no job. I won't go to the capital. He said, no, I must see you now. So I said, let him come in. He came in. He said, beep all your security. There's a straight order from Joava Taylor, Jefferson Koji, to hit on you, to knock you down. I said to assassinate me. He said, don't call my name. That's the plan. Beef it up. I said, okay. The last time, I was threatened. And I was on VOA. And that matter was addressed. When the opposition parties got into it, intervened, and I think they drew back. But they still got a plan to carry out. And let me say this to President Bia. When I supported you, I was a Holy Ghost. When I drew back my support, now I'm a war criminal. You want to kill me. If that is your plan, you and Joava Taylor, then I will tell you, you cannot kill me. That will result to a full-scale revenge from my supporters. I want you to know that the same people in Liberia who got a vote, they can vote you out or they can vote you in. I got nothing to do with that. I only got one vote. Why are you sending people after me if it is you? But I know this one is Joava Taylor and Eugene Nangwe, who say he's a strategist. You went to the embassy, peaceful demonstrator, you flogged them, you Jefferson Koji. Akara Gray, you enter the university campus, you beat people. You can't do that nonsense to me. You see, just like this, you will see people surrounding me. But if I should do that, they will say, PYJ want war. I don't want war. I really don't want any trouble. The fact I'm 70 years old, it means I'm well protected, fed by God and my supporters. We really don't want war. All the boys I saw today, how they were singing slogan, and all what they were saying, I heard it. They were repeating just what I said, the VP. I'm a warlord, I'm a war criminal. But who is talking to me? Who is talking to me? In the first place, on Tuesday, the staffers of the Capitol, they gathered themselves to honor Senator Yomli because of the mature judgment she made. She was supposed to be handpicked. How it turned around, only God knows. And people thought she would decline from supporting JMB. She said, no, come whatever may, I will support. And she is supportive of the Rescue 1 and Rescue 2. So she becomes what? The rescue mother. So they went there and you could see the staff, some of you were there. They sat down in a disciplined manner, in an orderly manner, in a diplomatic manner, and well dressed. You know the staff at the Capitol can dress well, well dressed. And they had a program in honor of Rescue 1, 2, and the Rescue Mother. Then the following day, Madam VP brought these hoodlums in 2 buses with drums to disturb the Capitol building. To disturb the Capitol building. During her speech, she mentioned me. Y'all want to get the country to warlord, Prince Johnson? Now Prince Johnson will rule. This is a madam that I respect, who got 2 masters and 1 honorary PhD, who's supposed to know a constitution very well. The Constitution spells out the duty of the president and the VP. I'm only a senator. I got nothing to do with the VP job. She called me warlord, war criminal. Look here, Liberian people, the world, all foreign embassies. My church was attacked. They were sent by President Weah regime, President Weah himself, and Joao Taylor. Hearing me today on the international media, I will communicate to you all officially on the plot by this government to assassinate me. I will not leave this country. People misled Samuel Doe, it led to a full-scale war. If you force me to leave this country, I will not leave. I will just pack my load from Monrovia, forget about the Senate, go to Nimba, and sit down there in my village. We don't want war. We beg you, we don't want war. But if you push out to the war, we'll tell you no war. They deceived Samuel Doe and Trouble King. Now, who is calling me criminal, war criminal, sending grown-up boys under the influence of kush or cocaine? I saw them all drunk. I saw them all drunk. Who sent them? Joao Howard Taylor. Who called me war criminal? Who is toting the name around Taylor, whose husband is an internationally indicted, convicted, and sentenced war criminal, serving 60 years jail or 50 years jail term. I'm free because, I'm free. If you bring a war crown coat, you don't have to start singing like stupid people in the street that wrote bought today. I'm not telling you she's stupid. Those boys who can be stupid. War crown coat. Why don't you bring that war crown coat? Who is above the law? Who is above the law? Nobody. But the thing here is that those stupid people here who talking nonsense around here, they were in Accra. I was not there. The world was there. The ECOWAS was there. The AU was there. The UN was there in Accra where they came out with the CPA and the TRC. The international community put before them World Cranco and TRC after that of South Africa. And they rejected the World Crown Code. Why they didn't choose it? If they had chosen it, I would be glad. I was in Nigeria praying that they choose World Crown Code because I want to know what the hell wrong with my people in Lutheran Church. I want to know the slaughter of Nima citizens, the chicken and goats. I'm not afraid. Many, you see why we get the information every day? The former soldiers that were demobilized and reintegrated to the society, they are all in the SSS, they are all in all of the institutions in this country. So anything you do, we'll know. But if we follow you, we'll plunge the country into trouble. We cannot follow you, Mr. Weir. Mr. Weir, you say you don't know politics. That the people put you inside to take something. Please, we will vote you out. This is a national democratic conspiracy and tsunami victory that is coming in the ballot box. We are sure the 64 billion, your lie, that you wanted to change the old notes to new notes. If we had refused, we knew what they wanted to do. If we had refused, they would say the Senate refused, they changed our old note to new notes. So we granted the permission. They printed it and kept it. That's why they're taking around with pickups and paying people. They're cocaine. That's why they're giving nobody to come in trouble. I'm 70, 18, if I die of trouble, I will not die. Whoever will haunt me will die. Whoever will haunt me will die. And say, I know Jefferson Koji's house. I know those people's houses. If you can haunt me, my people to choose to haunt you. In that conflict, we don't want conflict. We beg you, let us exercise our freedom well. We got the freedom of association, which I used to support you 2017. I'm no longer with you. Principally, I'm no longer with you. But as an in-law, you're my in-law. But when it comes to governance, you don't know politics. So you don't know nothing about political governance. Now, Madam Joa Howard Taylor is our sister. She must be very careful how she acts, how she talks. Because she should be concerned about her own first cousin who died on a questionable condition, Joshua. She should be careful. The mysterious death, questionable death. She knows about it. She knows. It's not something that I'm just telling it as a story. But in conclusion, before you ask questions, I appeal to Joa Howard Taylor, the VP. You want war, you will not get it from me. But if you push me to the wall, we will have no choice but to defend ourselves. Using the CC camera. Because when you're coming far, we'll see you coming. Then we'll run. Please, we beg you. Joa Howard Taylor, Eugene Nagbe, Koji, they better be careful. I knew many years back of Konotele. I knew of Chajulu. I knew of death squad commanders who plunged the country into civil war for 14 years. Mr. President, it is you we elected. It is you who will knock out democratically. I said that. You have agreed that when they vote you out, you will go. But I want to say thanks to Patrick Sudi. When I called, I couldn't get him. I sent him text. Then he sent police. Instead of the police rushing to the church, they stood at the junction by the ERBS. So that when nobody finished doing their job now, if they had came in, then it would come. You lie. If Bola didn't come in during the war, you can't come in here. So, you can't come in here. I'm protected. And if I shout, more people will come support me. And I will say who is doing it. And there will be the instability. Hey God, no. We don't want instability. We don't want trouble. If I will make trouble, I won't be a university here. I will keep my millions that I brought from overseas to buy weapons. But there was no need, and there is no need. It is Koji then who imported weapons. Those weapons are not they're conventional, but they're not for real warfare. It's for assassins. To assassinate leaders when we go out for rallies, political rallies. To stand fire, the snapper snap you and knock you down. We know all of that. Please. You know, power not good for Southeastern people. Power not good for them. I will beg you, in conclusion, Mr. Weir, don't put the country in trouble. We don't want trouble. We love you, but we don't like your system of governance. Madam Joa Howard Taylor, she said, rescue 1, rescue 2. What do they want to rescue? They want loot. But you're already looting. When you were with Mr. Taylor, our father, our revolutionary father, you took the whole Central Bank and put it to wet flower. The whole Central Bank was in the house. I was in Nigeria. She came there. with 15 suitcases I have never seen in my life. Long, flat, black, black, black. She saw me. She can't deny it. And I was gathered by the security. One of them was with me that morning. They flew special flight from Togo to Murtala Mohammed Airport. Then from there to Calabar. That's the morning when Tila was running away at the poor court. So it remained between Obasanjo and Madame Salif. That million disappeared. So she don't got moral credential to call me warlord. When she as a vice president cannot even go to America, she has been denied visa many times. You can't go to America. You told him somebody indicted, convicted, 60 years sentence. You proud taking your name. But I was supporting you. They are Holy Ghost. Or because I withdrew now, so I'm by me. So I beg you, Madam Joa, you're my late sister. I call you my daughter. I'm 70. When you're not my match by age. Start the thing you're doing here. We got people too who can react. But we say reaction to nobody. Don't react. But next Sunday, now that I know the attack, every time I go, you will see the play will be packed. Come, do what you want to do. They will drive you there and trunk you away. They will happen. As long as I will not go into anybody's house. You come to my church, in my premises that I pay for to disturb, will tell you no trespass, kick you out. But if we are done it today, it will result to conflict. So we beg you, we surrender to peace. Madam Joao Taylor, I surrender to you. Are you violent? I don't want violence. Mr. President, all the trouble in the country, you keep mute. You don't talk nothing. Please speak. God bless all of you. I will write the U.S. Embassy, and when I start writing the embassies, it means we'll prepare for you to tell you no. Not for war, but to resist attack on us. Because we cannot say that you can't kill us. To resist attack. You think I can call 1,000 people get and kill Jews? Then they deal with you? It's not correct, man. When brothers and brothers turn against each other during the war and kill one another here, it was a bad, a horrible sight. It's not good. We regret that incident. My parents before the TRC, I said that. I was remorseful. I apologize. Because we didn't have anywhere to put Liberian people to fight the dictator. But people made him to be followership and leadership. Bad followers make a bad leader. A bad leader also make a bad follower. When you are a leader who don't want to discipline people, who keep mute, who support every evil, it is not correct. Today I was disturbed. I wanted to keep on preaching, but the church, the congregants, they had run away. They had run away, so I couldn't preach to an empty space. You all were there, you saw it. I didn't want anybody wounding you. But if they come to my house to disturb, then it's good for them. God bless you.
Thank you.
Of Nimba County, the father of the fatherless, a true revolutionary, the man who stood the test of time to ensure that the sanity of Liberian democracy is restored and given back to Liberians. At this time, the senator will be addressing national issues concerning the resolutions that emanated on the floor of the Senate today in regards to the establishment of the World and Economic Crime Code. At this time, I want to say, Senator, the press is here and you are welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, members of the Fourth Estate, good afternoon to all of you. I have invited you here to speak to people at home and abroad, specifically to the people of Nimba. Over the years, there have been too much talk about establishment of economic and world crown code in Liberia. And people think I am so afraid, and that's why I have been speaking. Why have I been speaking throughout every time it is mentioned? It's not out of fear. It's because there was a time in our country when the noise started about the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court. All of the factions that fought in the war in this country deemed it necessary then to speak with one voice on the ground that they had left Accra, and the agreement in Accra had caused them to commit themselves to the peace process. Now people want to go after them. So we met at my house, Dupont Road, Pinsville, and we had an election among ourselves. I was made the general spokesman. At that time, Charles Juru was alive. Many of the faction leaders were available. The other Thomas were churches and deliver. Been at peace for so many years. And we submitted our resolution. That's why you hear me speaking all the time. But I'm not afraid. And besides that, the call for the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court have been based solely and wholly on the recommendations of the TRC recommendations. The recommendations made by the TRC. Now, what are recommendations? First thing, recommendations are not binding. They are not laws, they are binding. So for people to be clamoring that it must be fully implemented, it must be enforced, is a sad mistake. It's speaking of the ignorant. Because recommendations are, one, advice, suggestion, counsel, or opinion. They are not binding. They are subject to legal scrutinization. The person to whom the recommendations are made need to verify whether those recommendations are in conformity with the Constitution or with the very act that established it. So when the calls were on and measures were taken to prevent certain people from taking part in government in 2010, about that time, the certain group of people went to the court. Even Prabhu, who was one of the commissioners, also went to the court. Councillor Barney Sherman represented the Unity Party and went to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court ruled against the recommendations that it was not enforceable because it had too many constitutional breaches. And so, having said this, I'll give you a few copies of the Supreme Court ruling to share among yourself. It's very comprehensive and it gives you the whole detail. So if, as we all know in this country, that Liberia is a country of law, not men, and that the Supreme Court is the final arbiter of justice. If the Supreme Court rule against recommendations that contain biases, and say it is unconstitutional, it is unenforceable, and you in the House of Elders want to enforce, do something to the contrary, then to me it's a mistake. That's what I've been speaking against. All of the time when you hear me talking against the TRC recommendation, because it's full of flaws. Speaking from the Supreme Court perspective, because with all of us in this place, we have the ruling. So I give you copies for distribution, and that is why I've been speaking. Today, resolutions were brought on the floor. You all were there. It was sent from the lower house. Nimba County that I represent is a county. It's not an individual. So bring the resolution to the county seat or office to either reject putting signature or accept to fix the signature of whoever represents the county. They did not do that. They did it like a conspiratorial maneuvers, which are considered to be. That's why in the present, when all of the counties are signed through their senators, I had to ask the protest, where is Nimba? Why you did not bring it to us to accept it by signing or to reject it by not signing? Why did you leave the Nimba County out? In fact, there were 3 committees that are supposed to have reviewed the resolutions from the lower house, the Internal Affairs Committee, of which I am a chair, the Judiciary Committee, and the Security Committee. But when the three committees were named by one of the senators to be, when the Internal Affairs Committee was named to be included, the pro tem Yomdi Kanga said, no, it shouldn't be included. But the committee had 9 or 10 members. So the committee is not Prince Johnson. So if I had to recuse myself, because the whole thing had to do with me, then what about the other people that slow and why they couldn't go there? They completely left off the committee that comprised of 9 or 10%. Today again, yesterday, they started signing secretly in the pro tem office. And they left on Nimba County. That's what I asked, where is Nimba? I demanded the report to be brought to me. And in your presence, the 4 estate I signed, but before fixing my signature, I said, I want to know what happened to the 300 babies from Nimba. Who took them from their mother bosom, brought them to Liberia, Monrovia, and dumped them in a well upside down Duper Road? What happened to our people in the Lutheran Church? About 600 of them. Who entered there and killed them? Who entered the Greystone compound where you got a new American embassy now and slaughtered all of our people? Who laid a blockade to JFK and slaughtered all of our people that were on the beaches there? I want to know. But if you want to deal with the recommendation of the TRC to go after those people, that is wrong because the Supreme Court had ruled. That's what I've been seeing. If you want to bring a war crime court, the best thing to do is to write the United Nations directly so that the UN can send an investigation team to go all over again to the countries to find out information about those people who may have committed heinous crime. But it should not be based on the TRC that is bogus. Mission divided into 2 parts, 4 against 3. That is Prabu, that is Dorope, who was the co-chair of Verdia, that is Reverend Dr. Koma, Sheikh Afoma Kone, against Verdia, John Stewart, and Master Washington. And the 4 wrote their dissenting position to the Liberian Senate that the names were crookedly selected and put for prosecution. And so that could not be implemented by the Ellen Johnson League. The prosecutory part of it could not be implemented because people's names were selected by the Verdia group against the other 4. This is where we are. But if you want to deal with the war crime court issue and by using the recommendations, and that is the best way to go, I would say no. But since all of the countries have signed, let me go ahead and sign. After signing the document today, we are watching to see what will be the outcome. I'm hearing that President Boyka would like to publish an executive order to establish the court and to go after us. We are also yet to see that. This is a national security issue, and we want peace in our country to be a matter of continuity. And what is not done properly is not done right at all. That's why I call you.
Well, Senator Manis Yanti from OKFN. Well, basically, the last time we checked, there was this resolution that came from the House of Representatives, make its way to the Senate, and now that the Senate said they are sending this document back to the House of Representatives for concurrence, wherein they've made an amendment. Is it something that probably the Senate is actually proceeding error? And then another thing is that now that you've explained all of this and you went directly to the presiding desk and faced your senator saying, yes, I agree to whatever decision that was reached, why sign onto the document wherein that maybe probably if you were to lay all of this busy, that stating now that maybe perhaps you could not be in support of the establishment of said code in Liberia?
You see, all of my colleagues, this thing is all of my colleagues signed. In protest office or somewhere behind my back. They didn't present it to me. They make me look so funny and so ugly in the eyes of the Liberian people through the electronic media. So I just signed to let people know I'm not afraid. If you really check my background from the war and as I came to Monrovia, from the bush and came to Monrovia, And if you follow my trace, when I pass, ask people. That's why it requires investigation by a neutral investigation team from the United Nations, not on the basis of the voter TRC. So if I don't sign, say, oh, the man is afraid. I have signed. So let justice be done, even to the very document. Justice was not done. This is not the first time the Senate ever received such a communication. The President George Weah, former president, sent a letter to the Senate to advise the executive, TRC. And the very Judiciary Committee came up with a 20-something or 60-something page document or 21 page or something, telling the President Weah that there were violations of the Constitution by the TRC recommendation. The same committee, the Judiciary Committee, Security Committee, they wrote. So they have come again to do a U-turn. So it's up to them. We are watching to see. We want justice for everybody. Justice for the accused, though I've never been accused. The TRC invited me, invited other people, and said, give your traumatic story, and whatever you will say before the court, as your experience during the war, without being used against you in a court of law. So is that my explanation that you taking to convict me and putting my name in the report? So be it. But we got to do justice to everybody, to the would-be victim, I don't know where they are, and to the would-be perpetrator. And it's a big job. It's not a small thing. The sponsor of the war, the country that provided the training bases, and those who purchased the weapons and all of those things, the very ECOMO that came to help us to maintain the peace, to restore peace. The peace mandate was automatically changed after 3-4 months to peace enforcer, thereby making them combatant to chase Taylor in all of the country they were entrenched in. So the Duru boy that were dropping cluster bombs and the artillery that was being launched to get Taylor out, sometimes missed target, whatever the situation, we are yet to see what will be the outcome.
Obadiah Johnson from Front Page Africa newspaper. Senator, your political party, the NDR, in which you serve as the chairman of its governing council, heavily supported the Unity Party, the government of President Joseph Yuma Boyka. Fixing your signature to this document implies that you are willing to submit yourself to a raw crime court trial. Are you willing to go to trial and to also call big
I just
names,
told you.
especially those who provide you the arms ammunition?
Yes, I just told you. We support the War Economic Crimes Code, provided if there will be a direct communication to the United Nations to establish the code, first of all, by sending the investigation team to restart. But it should not be based on the TRC recommendation that are condemned by the Supreme Court of our country. You understand me?
Follow up, are you willing to call big names who provide you arms and ammunition?
Well, the investigation will come up with it. The investigation will come up with it. And the local defense force and all who support it, all will come. We're not afraid of that.
Okay. So, Senator, good afternoon. My name is Haji Masale. I report for Spoon. With you affixing your signature means that you agreed for the establishment of the court. What level of cooperation will you give those judges or the court in terms of calling names?
I agree for
you continue to lay some historical facts that are of stay allegation about the Lutheran Church massacre, the Duboro situation. Are you willing to call names and those behind all this?
The investigation or the trial will bring all those things up. What I'm saying to you, and I continue to say, and I stick to my word, my position, is that I sign endorsing War Economic Crime Code. It will depend on whether you want to start afresh by bringing the UN to do a new investigation, or whether you go by the TRC bogus report that been condemned by the Supreme Court, because we will have lawyers. We will have international and local lawyers. And if you're dealing with us on the basis of the TRC recommendation, then the Supreme Court comes in, because the Supreme Court is the final arbiter of justice. Our lawyer could proceed to the court and put in adjournment, because the recommendation you want to implement against us by bringing the court is condemned. You know what I'm saying? It's condemned.
Yeah, Father Senator, do you somehow feel embarrassed or disappointed, betrayed by your colleagues or the ruling establishment as per the action taken today?
No, I don't think I would say they betrayed. The only gave reason why many times since I've been here, I'm the longest serving senator. While 15 have gone for election and 2 came back, 15 have gone for election, only 4 came back. That's some of the reasons. Because they dealt with it before. They disposed of it before when they made a report to where. Not because Joseph Boyka, the president, has sent something through the speaker whose wife is Boyka's niece. You see what I'm saying? And so they are doing a new thing again. But what they're doing is not different from what they did before. So I won't say betray. It's just one of those things that caused someone to be voted out.
So did you manage to establish why the resolution was hastily passed by your colleagues?
The resolution was hastily passed. That's what they adopted to do. I can't question why they did it so quickly. The good thing is that there is a legal ground that I'm speaking from. If you want to bring the War Crime Code on the basis of the recommendations of the TRC, then you look at what the people I gave you. Supreme Court, not from me. The Supreme Court condemned the recommendations. They have so many constitutional breaches.
Okay.
And the Supreme Court said it violates the rights of those accused in the TRC report. And they also said the TRC got no power to bar anybody for 30 years because it was never a court. The Supreme Court talked about Article 14 of the TRC book that the TRC immediately said that the names of people to be prosecuted were not exhausted. If they were not exhausted, why did you leave for so many thousand and then put 3 people for prosecution? If the labor were not exhausted. So it's selected justice. So in conclusion, you're calling for your peace through the establishment by means of based upon the Booker report from the TRC, if that will bring peace, and Hassan, will bring a court.
Just to clarify this, you are on record by stating that ex-generals will protect you as it relates to the establishment of the War Crimes Court.
Have I said that?
You have been quoted by some media institutions. So can you clarify?
Have you heard my voice? Have you heard my voice calling upon ex-combatants?
Ex-generals
to
stand by you.
Have you heard me calling for ex-combatants to stand by me? To do what?
Thank you.
To do what? Look, let me tell you something. I am a brave soldier. I came to liberate my people. Nimba was declared enemy of the state. So if I came to free my people in Liberia generally, and I went outside of my route of engagement and started killing people and raping, though I never raped in my life, if it is proven, after fighting for only 9 months, you know that 14 years of war, I only fought for 9 months, I left the country. The war that took place when I left the country, the beer factory was intact. Hotel Africa was intact. The Hydro was intact. LEC was intact. Juga Party was intact. Bush Island was declared safe haven. Broad Street was having live activities when I left this country. The wars after me, after I left, destroyed these things. So if I came to free my people and I went outside of the route of engagement, outside the Geneva Convention and war principles, if they are proven, so be it.
Did you receive an endorsement from the people of Nimba before putting your pen to paper regarding this agreement?
Well, I represent the people. I have told them, they know what I did, they know, because they themselves are grieving over the children that were destroyed. They are grieving over the Lutheran child massacre. But because the amnesty law, Nimba cannot do anything. So they prefer to go back to their grandchildren, to remarry, to live together as Dodi, my brother-in-law. You understand me? So whatever will bring peace to the people of Nimba, it's what we've done. They know what's happening. They know the entire Senate conspired against me. But those who even signed the paper, they cannot be free from academic crime. A lot of them inside fought war. Because you fought war doesn't mean you're criminal. Because you fought the war doesn't mean you're criminal. Because I know the group that here, there were 2 groups that came here seeking for war crime code. Okay? The so-called Ambassador Alash, that white woman, she didn't come here representing America. She represents an NGO group called Global Crime. That's the Hassan Benito group. These are the people who lie on Jibri massacre. They grabbed him in Finland. They came to Liberia and got false witnesses to go to Finland to bear false witnesses against the man in court. They were convicted based upon the first false witnesses for 30 years or so. But when they went to the Supreme Court freed the man on lack of evidence. They didn't stop there. They went to Agnes Taylor in London, grabbed a woman, and jailed her through the police. The same group. After 1 year or so, she free. Then they didn't stop there. They went to Brussels, Martina Johnson. They lied on her. After 2 years, they couldn't collect information to prove the case. She got free too. And the group coming here want to establish Walkland Court. Will the court be held in the Supreme Court? What will you do with the amnesty law?